Hello everyone, this is Charlie from the Bloomingdale Public Library, and today we're going to be looking at VLC Media Player. So what is VLC Media Player? It is a free open source media player with hundreds of millions of downloads developed by the Video Land Project. The Video Land Project is a bunch of volunteers from all over the world, but I believe they're headquartered in France. For your information, VLC stands for Video Land Client. Client is just a term for software that interacts with the server, but we're not doing any server type things today. It is available for all major operating systems, so Windows, Mac OS, iOS, Android, and Linux, and can play most popular music and video files, but its biggest draw for most people is its ability to play DVDs on a computer. Most people have been using Windows computers, and when you had your Windows computer, it used to be you could just put in a DVD and rely on the packaged Windows Media Player to play your DVDs. And while Windows Media Player is still packaged with Windows, it no longer plays DVDs. It does still play music, and it's helpful for burning CDs if you still do that. But again, if you need something to play DVDs, that's where VLC Media Player comes in. It also has other features such as screen recording, editing, and file converting. And I'll be honest, VLC is not my first choice for any of these particular tasks, but it's nice to know that it's there in a pinch, and we will have a look at it a little bit later. So, odds are these days your computer did not come with an optical drive. It used to be something you could just kind of take for granted that it would be there, but that's no longer the case. Now, if you have a tower for your desktop and you have an open 5-inch drive bay, you can go ahead and install one internally. And this is what that looks like. So you'd pop open the drive bay, you'd stick this guy in, you'd screw it into the drive cage with these screws down here, and then you'd plug it in to the power supply with this guy here. This is SATA power. And then you plug it into the motherboard with this guy here, which is a SATA data cable. Now, if you don't have an open drive bay, or you're simply not up to something like that, or you're working with a laptop, then this other option on the right here is probably the way to go. And this is an external optical drive which just plugs in with a USB cord. Both these options tend to run around $20, give or take, but with the way tariffs are going these days, who knows? So let's go about installing VLC Media Player. There are two ways to go about it. The first one is the way I would recommend, and that's going to their website. So that would be at videolan.org/VLC. Hit enter. That should take you to this page here. Just click on the big orange button. That'll take you to this page, and you'll notice the downloads start in the upper right corner. Once that happens, you just click on it, follow the prompts. It's pretty straightforward, and I'm not going to go through it because I've already got it installed on this computer. But the other way to go about it is through the Windows Store. So just to show you what that looks like, I'll go ahead and go to Microsoft Store. And again, if this is the way you're accustomed to installing software, there's nothing wrong with that. Well, there's something wrong with that. So you have two options here. The first one is the full desktop app, which I've read tends to lag behind the version that's on the website. I think it's just a matter of going through Microsoft hoops to get it onto the store. The other option here is VLC UWP, which stands for Universal Windows Platform. That's the version that's kind of built more like a phone app in that it's a bit more locked down, has fewer options, and in this case it does not play DVDs, so you do not want to go that route, at least in terms of the context of this video. So with VLC Media Player installed, it's time to play a DVD. Because I'm on a laptop using an external optical drive, my first step is to plug the drive into the laptop with a USB plug. Now you might find that a lot of external drives come with a second cable, usually with USB on one end and like a laptop charging plug on the other. I believe that's to provide extra power to the optical drive in the case of older USB ports that maybe provided less power. In any case, I've yet to come across a situation where it was necessary to use it, so if you're wondering what to do with that second cord, I would say just ignore it. So with your drive plugged in, you can go ahead and put in a DVD. It should cause some lights to flash. Maybe you'll hear some spinning, and that's all good. From there, we can go ahead and open VLC Media Player. It's going to be the orange cone with the white stripes. If you don't have a shortcut on the desktop, you can go ahead and open up the Start menu and find it under the list of all apps. So it should look like this. And to play a DVD, what we would do is go to Media, Open Disc, and you should see the title of the DVD in the field for Disk Device. If you don't, go ahead and click Browse, and then on the left side, just select the DVD player, and then select Folder. Don't even bother worrying about anything on the right side of the screen. It's not necessary. Now you'll see under Disk Device it just says D, but it'll still play just fine. If you get some notifications telling you, you have a new drive installed, what do you want to do with it, or what should I do with this file, just ignore the notifications. We want to open up the DVD through VLC Media Player. So let's take some time to look at this window for a bit. You notice we've got some tabs here. The first one is File. So this would be where you'd go to create a playlist of audio and video files that are already on your computer. Just click Add, browse to the files, and open them up to add them to the playlist. If you wanted to play a video through a URL, that's where you'd click on the Network tab, put in the URL, and you can play that way. We also have a tab for Capture Device. That's how we would do screen capturing. We'll look at that in just a sec. Going back to the Disk tab, you'll see we've got some radio buttons here for disc selection. You see Blu-ray there. You can actually play Blu-rays through VLC Media Player, but it involves jumping through a couple extra hoops, and there's some legal gray area there, so I'm not going to be showing that today. We also have the audio CD radio button available as well, and that should work just fine. So from here, there's some other options regarding where you want to start, adding subtitles, etc. I'm going to skip all over those and just click play. I will warn you that this DVD was the only one I had available at the time of recording, and it's one that I created through VHS to DVD digital conversion. So it behaves a little differently, and it's got a very obnoxious audio track on the menu. So once I open it, I'm immediately going to show where we can change the volume, which is in the lower right hand corner with this little green slider here. So I'm going to click play, and then we will play around with the audio immediately. All right, I'm going to preemptively start taking this down a little bit. Okay, I think that's enough. So again, we have a slider here for going up and down. I think it goes up to 130% and down to 0. Otherwise, if you wanted to mute, you just click on the little picture of a speaker there to get the little red circle and the white X. Click on it again to unmute. I'm going to be leaving this muted for the duration of the demonstration, largely because the content is copyrighted. So having a look at what we can do with DVD playback, most of the buttons we need to worry about are on the bottom here. So the first one is stop and play. It's not going to do much on the menu, but keep in mind you need to be playing in order for anything to happen. If you click on something while you're paused, it's not going to take any effect. So the next three buttons are a little confusing. There is previous media, stop playback, and next media. These make more sense for playing music. So what they do is they go back and forth between files. So in this case, if you hit any of them while you're in playback, it's going to take us back to the menu, which is probably not what you intend. What you probably want to use instead are these previous chapter and next chapter buttons, but for some reason in playback, these buttons go away. So if that's the case with other DVDs you use, again, I just suspect it's the nature of this DVD and how it was made that kind of makes it behave a little differently. To see everything else, you can go to playback, and all those buttons show up as menu options here, and you can go to next title, next chapter, previous chapter. Going on with the buttons here, if you hold down the previous media or hold down the next media, it'll jump 10 seconds ahead. We can go ahead and have a look at that real quick. Again, holding it down, you'll see the timer jump 10 seconds. Holding it back, again, jump back 10 seconds. The next button is for full screen mode. It's kind of nice about that is it makes the interface go away automatically, so it's out of your way. If you wanted to get it back, you can just start moving the mouse around, or you can hit escape, and that'll take us back to the smaller window. The next button here is to play around with the picture and audio. So we have audio effects here. You can go ahead and set the equalizer, click enable, move around with the sliders, or choose a preset. I'm not going to do any of that right now. I'm going to disable that. We also have video effects as well. And this is where you can go ahead and change the brightness and contrast. You can see how that works. If these buttons don't work, what you need to do is go into Tools, Preferences, Input and Codecs, and change Hardware Accelerated Decoding from automatic or whatever to disable. And then they should work just fine. So these next three here are for the playback list, looping, and shuffling. Those are, again, more for playing audio tracks than playing through the chapters of a DVD. And then this last button here is to take us back to the menu. So again, for most DVD playback purposes, those buttons are all you need. And again, I don't know why these chapter buttons disappear, but if you needed to get to any of them, you just hit the playback menu and again get to the various functionalities that way. Okay, so the primary motivator for this video was to raise awareness for VLC Media Player and to show you how it can help you play DVDs on your computer. We have such a vast collection of DVDs here at the library, and with streaming kind of falling out of favor with a lot of people, I just want to remind you that there's another option out there. So I also alluded to several other things you can do with VLC Media Player, and one of those is doing a screen capture. So if you wanted to, say, make videos to upload to YouTube, this would be one way you can go about that, though it certainly wouldn't be my first choice. So to do that, we're going to go to Media, Open Capture Device. This should look pretty familiar. For capture mode, I'm going to go to Desktop, so that'll record the screen. And for desired frame rate for the capture, it should be a lot higher than 1 frame per second. That's going to be extremely stuttery. I'd recommend at least 20. I'm going to leave it at 21 for now. And if you wanted to do audio as well, what you got to do is click this box for Show More Options. Check the box for Play Another Media Synchronously. And then for extra media, we're going to type in WASAPI. I thought there was another way to go about this, but I can't seem to remember what it was, and when I go online, this is all that people say. So WASAPI : // that stands for Windows Audio Session Application Programming Interface. It basically just lets VLC Media Player talk directly to the Windows audio driver. So up here, this is the sound. Down here, this is the visual. Once we've got that set, I'm going to click the little arrow next to play and go to convert. On this screen, we want to look at the profile, make sure it's H.264 or .265 plus MP3. I'm going to click on the wrench. I'm going to go to audio codec, and by default for me this was set to MPEG audio, and that did not work, so I had to set it to MPEG-4 audio with AAC in the parentheses there. Sample rate of 8,000 is also extremely low, so I'm going to bump that up all the way. Otherwise, I think everything else should be good. I'm going to click Save, and then we're going to create a destination file down here. So this will be the name of our screen capture. I'm going to click Browse. I'll call it Screen Cap. Click Save. So this will be where and what my file name will be. And then once I click Start, it's going to start recording. Keep in mind, I'm recording myself on a rather standard laptop, so the quality is not going to be great. So here we go, clicking Start. Just to see that I'm actually doing something, I'm going to open up Paint real quick. We'll dump some red on there. close it. And when you're done with your screen capture, you click the stop playback button, and that's it. If I go back to the folder where I created my screen cap video, it's right here. And I'm going to go ahead and play it real quick. Click start. I'm going to open up Paint real quick. We'll dump some red on there. So there you go. And when you're done with your screen capture, again, the quality is kind of hurting because I'm recording myself recording, but otherwise that's all there is to it. Okay, so now that we have a video, I'm going to show you how to crop it. And by crop, I mean remove pixels from the left, right, top, and bottom sides. So there's a couple of steps to this, and the first one is kind of just getting a preview of what you're doing. So to do that, we're going to go to Media, Open File, and then select the video that you want to crop. We'll work with the screen cap video that we just made, and click Open. Click Start. Pause the video. And again, this is just so we can see what we're cropping. From here, we're going to go to Tools, Effects and Filters, select the Video Effects tab, then the Crop tab, and here you see we've got a bunch of numbers for top, left, right, and bottom. This is how many pixels we're cutting off from each side. We also have some checkboxes to synchronize the top and bottom numbers. So if I were to check these boxes, you see it grays out the bottom and right numbers. And if I were to add a number to one of these sides, like say 100 on the left, you see it matches that on the right. So this would be a way to add symmetry to your crops. I'm not going to do that for today. I just want to create a really obvious crop to demonstrate what we're doing. So I'm going to chop 500 pixels off the right side, 500 off the bottom. It's kind of nice that we get to see what the crop looks like in real time. It's very clear that we're missing the bottom and right sides of the screen. So good. I'm going to go ahead and close that. And now it's time to actually add a crop and convert the video. So to do that, we're going to go to Tools, Preferences, and then down in the bottom left corner, I'm going to do, for show settings, I'm going to select all. And these are all the different things we can do in VLC. We're going to keep things pretty narrow today. We're going to go down to Video, and then expand Filters. And then I'm going to select Crop Add. When I do that, this would be where we match the numbers that we had set in our preview. So I'm going to set this to 500 from the bottom, 500 from the right. And below that, we've got the pad numbers, which will add black bars to the top, bottom, and left, right sides of your video. I'm going to leave those zeroed out for now. So once you've got everything the way you want it, go ahead and click Save. And now we're going to go to Media, Convert Save. So we're going to add our screen cap video. So select it, click Open. Go to the little arrow next to Convert Save, select Convert. Make sure Profile is set to MP4, and then click the wrench. And under the wrench, we're going to go to Video Codec, Filters, and then select the cropping filter. So Video Cropping Filter, there we go. Click Save. And then we're going to set a destination file, so we're going to click Browse next to that. We'll call it crop. Click Save. Click Start. And then click Play. And you see the conversion is done pretty quickly. It's not real time, thank goodness. Once that's done, you go ahead and open up the video and see what it looks like. Click Start. I'm actually doing something. Lower the volume, and that looks about like what we wanted. So that is how you add a crop to your video. Alright, so next I'm going to show you how to trim a video. And by trim, I mean remove time from the beginning and the end. Now you can go through the real-time process of just playing the video and recording and stop recording, but what's a little bit easier is if we do it another way. So what I'm going to do is go to Media, Convert Save, and open up the file we want to do. Full disclosure, I tried getting this to work with the video that I just created, but it didn't work, so I'm going to use the first section of the YouTube video. I'm going to click open, and then on this window I'm going to do show more options, and I'm going to do 10 seconds to 15 seconds. So you have the start time and the stop time, so I'm trimming quite a bit. So from here I'm going to click the little arrow next to convert save, select convert, and then for profile here I'm going to just select the MP4, but I'm also going to click on the wrench, and under video codec I'm going to keep original video track, keep original audio track. I'm going to save it. We're going to choose a destination file. We'll just stick it in the video folder and call it trim. Click save, click start, and it was very quick on the status bar there, but I'm going to go ahead and close that. Open the trim video. So what is VLC Media Player? It is a free open source media player with hundreds of millions of downloads developed by the... That is a quick demonstration on how to trim it. So there's a bunch you can do to your videos with VLC Media Player regarding effects and filters and editing, but I think I'm going to show you how to convert a video into an audio file and then call it a day. So to do that, we're going to go through some familiar steps. We're going to go to Media, Convert Save, click Add, choose the file that you want to convert to audio. I'm going to do the first section of the YouTube video that we're working on. And then we're going to click on the little arrow next to Convert Save and click Convert. On this window, halfway down, we're going to change the profile to Audio MP3 and then create a destination file. We'll go to the video folder, even though it's not a video, and we'll name this Audio. And you can see it's saving as type MP3 just below. So click Save, click Start. You can see the progress bar go pretty quick. It's not real time, thank goodness. And we'll close that up, go to the folder, and here you see the audio file that we just created. Just to show you that we can play MP3s in VLC Media Player, I'm going to right click, go to Open With, select VLC Media Player. Hello everyone, this is Charlie from the Bloomingdale Public Library, and today we're going to be looking at... And there you go. And that's all I have for you for now. I thank you for viewing and hope you have a good day.